Grandma Earth's Song. I started down Capitol Hill along unfamiliar black central avenues, warily, uncertain which streets through Fillmore District to City Hall Valley Center. And as I passed a block or two, I saw a fragile crone marching towards me uphill. Grandma Bag Lady, ragged, dressed with firm ancient steps, old Ma Earth, dragging a shopping cart filled with cans, bottles, and plastic newspapers tied with silk stockings, wandering alone, singing out loud on the way to Civic Center. When dull roots write laws, Jerusalem to New York, poor Jews break Arab jaws, blacks eat greasy pork. What's the planet news? Wall Street's poison pill, Palestinians stone Jews, water runs downhill, young soldiers gonna die, old presidents get AIDS, they bankrupted the sky, the ozone layer fades, crazy people got money, I own state capitals, sheriff calls me honey, the army's a bunch of fools, I want my welfare stamps, I want my movie show. I got 10 kerosene lamps. I'm 99 years old. This town's already dead. This country's on the skids. The state's made out of lead. I can't feed my kids. My name is Gaia. Ha ha ha. Put me in jail. I'll screw the sky. Nothing to win or lose. Papa born, you're gonna die. Atom bombs and newsboy hoaxes, fakers yak the Oval Room. I live in cardboard boxes. They killed the ocean's womb. Tear up your welfare check, I'll eat my way to heaven. Throw me in Walnut Creek, I'll vomit Pacific Ocean. Waking as she passed by, I thought, she's improvising street doggerel, epic popular song, cackling in everyone's immortal brain. Anything that comes to mind is the right politics to ruin police state. Elephant in the meditation hall. Yes, all spiritual groups scandal the shrine room. What about San Francisco Roshi and the board of directors' wife? What about high-living limousine expense accounts in Moscow? What about the late Rajneesh and poisoned gefilte fish in Oregon? What's hiding under Rajneesh's orange skullcaps? Brains? Then old L.A. Mountain Roshi even tapped his young girls, and East Coast Roshi seamen dribbled from Hawaii to the broom closets of the Catskills. Mayazumi Roshi caused grief, his sensei's hearts running out with midnight sake and beer. Later, he thanked them for Alcoholics Anonymous. Veteran Zen master with motorcycle and community farm corral felt up little boys, and a big guy, too, tough as nails. Remember the strange Mongolian-Russian fruitcake llama in Polk Gulch Bay area? Vajracharya Trungpa, don't mention the naked poet at the Halloween party. And the whispered transmission regent died of AIDS. Disciple, a straight guy, sick, they say. Marxists were right. Religion, the people's opium. But who are they to talk? Look at Mao, a Marxist. His picture on every Chinese wall in little red book, wherefore everyone stood up bedtime nights reciting his dread slogans. And they still had pictures of Stalin on truck cab windows in Gori, 1985, a scandal. And the New Left carried psychedelic pictures of Mao, Che Guevara, and Castro up and down Empire State stairways, a scandal of the 60s. And the marvelous Khmer Rouge read Marx, Sartre, and Eric Fromm, how many they murdered with their religious good intentions. What U.S. president hasn't sponsored war, Lumumba's assassination, an H-bomb, trillion-dollar savings and loan mistakes, scandals? Taxpayers got to subsidize banks. Now we got to digest plutonium. How evacuate CIA? Scandals. Hundreds homeless under Brooklyn Bridge freezing Christmas and New Year's Eve. Millions homeless in America. Who'll pay for the 500,000 U.S. boys visiting the Arabian deserts with their girls? Who'll cough up billions for Iraq war to save a president's face? $12 billion Mickey Mouse this year's drug war budget? El Salvador, Honduras, Guatemala, we paid death squads for decades. Nobody does anything right. Gods, popes, mullahs, communists, poets, financiers. My own life, scandal, lazy bum, second-hand royal scarlet ties and Yves Saint Laurent Salvation Army blazers. How many boys let me caress their thighs? How many girls cursed my cold beard? I better commit suicide. That wouldn't work either. It'd be a beatnik scandal. After Cassidy's railroad track death, Joan Burroughs' bullet in the head, Orlovsky sane in Bellevue, First Avenue, Kerouac's liver collapse and ruptured esophagus. Trapped in a living nightmare. I made a big mistake. I got born. The world came out of a black hole. Whole universe, a scandal, illusion, everyone deluded. Maya, a cosmic elephant in the meditation planet. George III, Rasputin, Stalin, Warren Harding, Herbert Hoover, Hitler, the 13th Dalai Lama's regent, Vice President Agnew. Ronald Reagan delayed hostage release till the Elephant Party's inauguration day. George Bush peddled coke for the Contras in street corner banks downtown Panama City. Scandals in the Buddha fields, big mistaken hemispheres, on moons, black holes everywhere. Anyway, the national debt will approach $4 trillion any day, say the homeless on Tompkins Square. There's a little fragment similar to that called Mistaken Introductions, where this marvelous High Lama followed in here by screaming madwoman charging she was betrayed 10 years ago on one of the moons of Saturn. Or, I want to introduce you to this universe which unfortunately doesn't quite exist. We set up luncheon at Rizzoli for the Tibetan photographer who hadn't prepared his slides. It was a disaster. May I introduce you to your prospective son-in-law? Unfortunately, today he's drunk, unshaven, but a good businessman. Tomorrow. It's a magnificent hotel. Just this week, there's no water to flush the toilet above the 10th floor where you're staying, and we had a fire in the elevator. Now Richard Secord and Oliver North hated Sandinistas, whatever they were worth. They peddled for the Contras to ease their pain. They couldn't sell Congress, so Contras sold cocaine. Discovered Noriega only yesterday. Nancy Reagan and the CIA. Now coke and grass were exchanged for guns on a border airfield that John Hull runs, or used to run till his Costa Rican bust as a CIA spy trading Contra coke dust. Discovered Noriega only yesterday. Nancy Reagan and the CIA. Ramon Milian Rodriguez of the Medellin cartel laundered their dollars, and he did it very well. Hundreds of millions to U.S. banks till he got busted and he sang in the tank. Buried in the papers only yesterday when Bush was drug czar USA. Milian told Congress 10 million coke bucks went to Felix Rodriguez, CIA muck-a-muck, to give to the Contras, only hush, 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 except for Donald Gregg and his boss George Bush. Buried in the papers only yesterday with Bush Vice President USA. Rodriguez met Bush in his office many times. They didn't talk business, they drank lemon and limes. Or maybe they drank coffee or they smoked a cigarette. What cocaine traffic they remember to forget. Buried in the papers only yesterday. And Bush got in the White House of the USA. Now when Bush was director of the CIA, Panama traffic in coke was gay. You never used to hear George Bush holler when Noriega laundered lots of cocaine dollar. Bush paid Noriega, used to work together. They sat on a couch and they talked about the weather. Then Noriega double-crossed his company pal with a treaty taking back our Panama Canal. So when he got into the big White House, Bush said Noriega was a cocaine louse. The Cold War ended East Europe found hope. The U.S. got hooked on a war on dope. Glasnost came East Europe got free. So Bush sent his army to Panama City. Bush's guns in Panama did their worst, like coke fiends fighting on St. Mark's and First. Does Noriega know Bush's company crimes in 2000 AD? Read the New York Times. Does Noriega know Bush's company crimes in 2000 AD? Read the New York Times.